All right, Coach. March Madness comes to Lumsden Gymnasium. You guys survive in advance. First round of the East Coast Conference Tournament tonight. Daemen 73, District of Columbia 71. Tale of two halves tonight, no question about it. You guys were really fighting yourselves in the first half with some trouble taking care of the ball, which resulted in some. UDC had 13 points off of turnovers in the first half and had a 4-point lead at the break, and then played much better in the second half.
I thought, Mike, we might not have been quite ready for the moment. You know what I mean? With the playoffs and everything, and I think that you get into a one-and-done atmosphere, and sometimes you're not ready. And then I think you look back to the last time we played UDC here, we won very easily. We were up 28, and so I'm sure there's some of that in guys' minds. And at halftime, we didn't yell. We just talked about, hey, look, the goal is to win by one. I told them after the game they could have, they made it two. You just got to win by one. You just got to get there and win it. And that they're a good team too. It's a 4-5 matchup. It's two evenly matched teams. And like you said, we had 11 turnovers in the first half, and they were all off like them just stripping the dribble and taking it from us. And we counted they had 5. They made 10 field goals in the first half. 5 were just 1-on-0 breakaway layups off of our turnovers. So we really guarded them pretty well. It would have been 5 of 21 in the first half. And even with that, they only shot 38% in the first half, but we thought we had guarded. So we just had to calm down. I think halftime was very important for us to kind of calm down, take a deep breath, and say, okay, now let's play. And because I thought we were a little bit, we have had a lot of guys who haven't played a lot of tournament minutes, and all of a sudden they're playing, and it was, I think once we settled down, we were able to get a lead, and we had the lead comfortable, and I thought we did a couple of bonehead things toward the end just to keep the fans glued to their seats.
You mentioned it, even though you were struggling a little bit offensively in the first half, your defense really kept you in it, and you guys have been the top defensive team in this league all season. And then in the second half, your offense started clicking. You hold them without a field goal for 8 minutes, and you ended up going on a 17-4 run. Deion Hamilton was particularly big in that run. He's really become your go-to player in the second half of sorts. Really coming of age here as a sophomore, late in his sophomore season.
Well, he came of age last year, I thought, or late in the freshman season, and he had some typical sophomore year. You get some ups and downs, and he's been really good of late, and we need him to be good. He gives us a dimension off the bench, and it's nice to be able to go to the bench and have some scoring. But in the first half, we weren't really feeling. He had a couple turnovers. The second half, he came out and he was fabulous. He was really good, and so we were, we can run some offense through him and use him at the right time, and I think that's important that we have that ability too.
How big was the free throw line for you today? UDC, a team that comes in, they led the league in free throws made per game. They had the leading free throw shooter in the league in terms of attempts and makes, Kasim Chandler. He doesn't shoot any free throws today. They go 13 of 16 as a team, but you guys go 19 of 26. Only went to the line 3 times in the first half, 23 times in the second half.
Well, and some of that is because they were trying to foul down the stretch, so they allowed us to get there. But we were much more aggressive offensively. And you're right, the free throw line is big. When we lost down there at DC, they were, I believe, 25 of 26 or some ungodly percentage like that, they'd only missed 1. And I was a little worried going in at the half when they were 7 of 8 today, and I'm like, they're feeling it from the line because they are an excellent free throw shooting team between Chandler and Nickerson, who's a very good shooter from from free throw line, excuse me. So, we knew we had to make them, and we did. For the most part, we made good ones, we made big ones, and we were able to close the game the right way by making free throws.
We talked about Deion Hamilton. You guys hit a couple of your magic numbers today. You're now 14-2 when he shoots over 50% from the field. The other magic number, you're 6-1 when Arif Mametai scores over 20 points. He had 23 tonight.
Well, Arif, I thought, played very well, and especially in the second half, he got going. And they were really into him in the first half, but he reacted well, and we executed well. Their game plan was to really take away Jeff Redband and Supreme and try and make their catches tough. and we needed somebody else to step up. And Arif was the guy who stepped up. We found some ways to get him the ball. And I know the stats are great, but if Dion goes 1 for 1, makes his first one next game, maybe I'll pull him out and we'll be guaranteed to win because he's shooting over 50%. But that's me being a wise guy. But I thought Arif was really good, really good. He was 1 rebound short of a double-double. He played very well.
You mentioned Jeff Redband. He's a guy that had a fantastic freshman season, maybe hit a little bit of a wall late, but really played well today. Hit some big 3-point shots, which I'm sure was encouraging for you to see today. Finished with 11 points and 7
Without
boards.
a doubt. And, for a guy, I mean, everybody says, oh, he hit a wall. I think in some ways, you look at the way DC guarded him, they didn't let him catch it. So the scoring opportunities aren't there. And then he's taking shots, that are deep. Remember, he shoots threes that are deep a lot of times. And, if you go 1 for 2, that's a really good percentage on those. And he might only get 1 shot or 2 shots in some games because teams play. That's how DC played him. And we were able to shake him free enough, loose enough where he got some shots. And we were able to, he was able to find some seams. We found him in transition, and we found him off of offensive rebounds, and which I think was one stat was really important. Is we had 18 offensive rebounds. We shot a good percentage in the second half. We did not in the first half, but we got a lot of second chances and second chance points, and that was one of our keys coming in.
Well, that leads me into my next question. Just seemed like the second half, every 50-50 ball went your guys' way, and you had different guys diving all over the floor for loose balls tonight.
I think it did until we got up about 14, and then Nickerson didn't want his career to end. And I give him, Joseph Nickerson, a lot of credit because he played desperate. Now, he said in the one timeout with about 3 minutes to go, he's playing desperate. We've got to match his desperation. He was really good, but I agree with you. Those first 15 minutes of the second half, we didn't want our season to end. And we chased down loose balls, we tipped them, we kept things alive, and we played harder. And, I thought we were in the heels in the first half. Second half, we weren't. We played like you have to play at this time of year.
So you're moving on now to the semifinal round. You're going to match up with top-seeded St. Thomas Aquinas. It'll be a rematch of last year's East Coast Conference Tournament Finals. You guys split the regular season series this year. You'll be playing on a neutral court at Bridgeport this weekend. Just what are your thoughts moving forward to the weekend?
Well, obviously they're great. They're the standard bearer of the conference. They are the team that we all aspire to be like. They're very well coached. They have some great players in Justin Reyes. Chaz Watler is an outstanding senior guard. It's a tough matchup for us. It's a tough matchup for anybody. Obviously, they went 17-3 in the league, so everybody. It was a tough matchup, and I think they're ranked maybe second in the region or third in the region. They're really good. They're really good. We're going to have to play well, but what you want is a chance. We got a chance. So everybody wants to go Bridgeport this time of year. We're going to Bridgeport.
Well, I'll be on the bus with you, so looking forward to that long ride, and we'll talk to you again on Saturday.
Bring some movies.